This is Eric Mother with Mother.com for February 7th, early in the morning as we prepare for another gap down in the morning. So it's shaping up to be another red day. We'll see whether this turns out to be a day where we might get some reversal. You never know. It's been 3 days on the downside, and usually by that time it gets to the fourth or fifth day of a continuous move up or down, there's usually a snapback reversal. It might happen today, I don't know. But what I want to talk about today is briefly for a minute or so is what we are going through here is we recently, as I mentioned a week ago, a few days back, is that the 50-day moving average just crossed below the 200-day. Most people use this as a bear flag indication. Now the thing I want us to watch and to pay attention to is usually what happens is that we do need this right here. I mean, we're in a critical point because typically what you want to happen is that you want this to eventually stop moving back up, and then there'll be a crossover. So in actuality, it dips down like that, and then right here there's a lot of scare, and then finally we go back above the 200-day moving average. You always want this 200-day moving average to stay as flat as possible or dip down a little bit, but eventually you don't want it to break its upward trending direction. So we are looking at that to see whether if we keep going lower, then that's going to force the 200-day come down, and that is when I also might be calling it definitely a bear market. But for now we're in a critical point, something we just have to look for now. Let me also show you one other time when this happened. The best immediate example is in 98. You see what happened here is there was we undercut the 200-day moving average, and then at some point this flattened out, and then we had this eventually they goes back up. So it's a nice kind of a D-shaped, upside down D-shaped formation. It's something we need to see happening, otherwise this is going to be very negative for the market. And if it does, and if the 200 moving average does start trending lower, I suspect it's going to be it's going to be a while before we see the market come back into a bull trend. It might have brief but fake rally. So if you're long, you really want this not to happen. The jury is still out there. Now it's happened a couple of times since 2002, like in mid to late 2004. There was this right here. You see that it went under it and came back, and it did it twice in 2005 here and here. So it does happen. It doesn't necessarily mean that every time the 50-day moving average undercuts the 200-day that you're in a bear market. That's my point, is that sometimes they do snap back. Now, one other thing, if I can bring my prior chart back, is yeah, in 98, very important to watch. Like during this retest, and remember, a retest doesn't have to hold. Sometimes they do break down, and when they break down, it's nasty. Right now we haven't broken down, looking a little bit kind of tasty out there. I don't know, man. We'll have to see. I mean, it's really not good to to judge something while it's still going on. Sometimes you have to wait for it to develop and then talk about it when markets are closed. But in any case, notice what during this arc-shaped retest here in 98, just throw your eyes and look at the long buy bars here. You see that while this retest was going on, there were more accumulation days by institutions, and hence the reason why there was a successful retest. So institutions were not really, they were stepping up to buy cheap stocks at this, and you can see they were buying, but the market probably had some negativity. If you just look at volume right now, what's going on is, again, you see since the snapback reversal on the 22nd, we've had more institutional buying, and the last 3 days we've been down, but volume apart from Tuesday has been below average. So there's a lot of price red tape scare, but in actuality, I think institutions are stepping up to buy. The jury's still out there. Wish you all the best. Let's see how this develops. This is Eric Mother, mother.com, just giving you a brief update on what I'm looking at. Peace and blessings to you.